Tonight, as sweeping immigration enforcement operations were carried out across Denver, Aurora, and Arapahoe County today. We know armed federal agents have detained several people. This happened at several different apartment complexes that have a troubled history with gang activity and other crimes as well. Heavily armed federal agents were at the Cedar Run Apartments in Denver early this morning.
Our crews found a busted door, some black marks left behind from a device agents used to enter one woman's unit. She says they did it without a warrant and they took her partner.
They took him away, saying he was here illegally.
They know what they came for, but then ICE starts circling the area and begins asking people if they have legal documents to be here, and that's taking advantage of the situation.
Now, the earlier woman says those agents got the wrong apartment and her husband is not a criminal. We do not have details on whether or not that is true. Your reporter in Denver, Jasmine Arenas, talked to many residents at one complex where those ICE operations took place today, and we have her full report coming up for you tonight at 6:30.
Hours after those agents made arrests across the Denver metro, thousands of people demonstrating against President Trump filled the lawns and streets around the Colorado State Capitol. They say they're protesting everything from the president's immigration crackdown to his rollback on transgender rights and a proposal to forcibly transfer Palestinians from the Gaza Strip. It was part of a planned demonstration effort in all 50 states. We have team coverage for you tonight looking at how this is impacting our community here in Colorado. Your reporter in Boulder, Sarah Horbakowitz, is talking to a family who says they're trying to leave the country because they feel it's not safe for their transgender daughter.
We want to start, though, with your reporter, Kelly Worthman. And Kelly, you were down at the Capitol at 5, but we brought you back here to the studio because things were getting a little packed down there.
Yeah, and you know, as we all know, Karen, when things get busy and when folks see a news camera, there are always people who want to try to jump in front of the camera. So we came back here just to avoid any unnecessary interactions. Now, what I will say is even as the crowds are growing bigger downtown, that the protesters are remaining peaceful, and they are all gathering to collectively raise their voice in opposition of President Trump and his agenda. Just before the lunch hour, hundreds of people began gathering outside the state capitol. Why are you out here today?
Because I'm 70 years old and I don't want my country to fall apart.
And it didn't take long for the crowd to grow into the thousands.
My parents are immigrants, and I don't know, I just want them to live a better life here and not get deported. You know, my parents work hard for what they have.
This is part of a nationwide gathering in protest of the hard right playbook, Project 2025, and the Trump administration.
Everything Trump's doing is wrong, illegal. If he wants to make changes, then he needs to do it like everybody else does it. I don't fault him for wanting to make changes, but the way he's doing it is not okay.
He is a traitor.
Paul traveled to the Capitol from Colorado Springs to take part, bringing his message of veterans against Trump.
We did not serve this country to now have a dictatorship and having a traitor in charge of our country.
Inside the Capitol, Republican State Senator Mark Baisley says while he recognizes the concerns of protesters,
I understand the dust up, with the kind of rhetoric that comes from Washington in particular.
He says recent actions by the president, from deportations to federal funding cutbacks, are what's best for Colorado and the country.
They are not going after just the general immigrants who may be here illegally. They're going after the criminals, and they want to be able to hand them over, those who have committed crimes against Coloradans. He's doing a lot of amazing things, and he's undoing a lot of terrible things, as we've seen with USAID.
But back outside,
all he cares about is himself and his billionaire buddies.
All right, so today's protest is actually part of a national movement called the 50-51 movement, meaning 50 states, 50 capitals, so 50 protests there, all on one day. And according to the flyers that went out online for today's protest here in Denver, things are supposed to wrap up around 8 o'clock tonight, and we, of course, will keep a close eye on it for you. Reporting live in Denver, I'm Kelly Worthman, covering Colorado First.
All right, Kelly, thank you.